I have some questions for you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Um, what church did you go to then?
Vernon,
Vernon?
AME.
Was it destroyed in the riot as well?
No, we
Okay.
part of it was.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. And understand, do you remember the J.B. Stratford Hotel?
The Stratford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you give us a description? What do you remember most about the J.B. I've been hearing all kinds of
Oh, the
details.
Stratford Hotel was something else
Mm.
because
Real
they
nice.
had a ballroom
Mm.
there,
Mm-hmm.
and
And this was that most of the proms were given at, well, most of the high school proms were done at the J.B. Stratford Hotel.
at that time uh, the hotel was new.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the hotel was.
Yeah, Stratford Hotel was new during the riot. It had just been put up down there.
Get out of here.
Hmm.
So that means that that was Mount Zion and the Stratford Hotel were both new buildings.
Yeah.
That they went out and really destroyed.
Stratford was a beautiful two-story hotel. Rooms upstairs and the ballroom downstairs.
Mm. Now, you said you attended school. What school was that?
Huh?
What school did you graduate from?
Booker T. Washington.
Booker T. Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember getting any kind of damage in the race ride?
Me?
No, the Booker T. Washington school, was it damaged? Do you recall anything?
I don't think so at that time. I don't think the school was damaged.
Hmm. Well, you know, last year Booker T. Washington celebrated, matter of fact, it's still celebrating its 85 years of existence.
I understand they're fixing to build a new school.
Yeah,
right.
that's going to be
That's
the
good.
next fight, and you know.
Where are they going to build it?
Right in the
Same.
interlock behind the school,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to tear down most of the old stuff, but keep the rotondo area, you know, where the Hornet is and stuff, and make that into like a gallery and community room. What did you remember most about? What is some of your fondest memories of Booker T. Washington? What's something that jumps out?
All the kids were proud of Booker T. That's what we always refer to as Booker T.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any? Yeah, go ahead.
And when, especially at Thanksgiving time, there was an envy between Muskogee High School and Booker T. Every other Thanksgiving, we were either in Muskogee at the football game or here.
Mm.
And the kids were proud of Booker T.
Mm. And do you, I know there is work in progress about putting a historical marker where the old Booker T was and put a memorial for E.W. Woods. Do you remember him at all?
Mr. Woods?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, he was my favorite teacher.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
And after I finished school and got married, Mr. Woods came out one Sunday morning, and he always called the kids by their surnames. He said, "Clonan, how's everything?" And I said, "Well, about as usual, Mr. Woods." He said, "How you doing in your business?" I said, "I'll be here trying to make it, that's all." He said, what I came out to tell you this morning was, I've got $2,000 laying up here in the bank. If you need it, let me know and I'll go get it for you."
Wow.
I said, "Mr. Woods, that certainly is a nice gesture and I thank you. But right now I'm trying to make it on my own. But if the time comes when I need something, I won't forget to ask you." He said, "Well, it's up there and you can have it if you need it."
Wow.
That is the kind of relationship between students and teachers.
That's right.
Oh, what a wonderful story. She touched upon one thing I want to comment on, Stratford, the Stratford Hotel and the Stratford. Stratford had to flee Tulsa after the riot. He was charged with inciting it, and he was a prominent attorney also. And he fled and never did return to Tulsa. And there was a ceremony a couple of years ago that was to exonerate him. And Representative Don Ross was in charge of that mission, and they had a beautiful program where he was exonerated, and all kind of awards were given to his offspring. And speaking of Chicago, that's where he fled to and wrote a book about this. His relatives still live in Chicago, and speaking of Chicago, there's a lot of interest in this Tulsa race ride. It's gaining national and international attention. It has been the focus of stories in the national news. In Berlin, Germany, sent documentary producer here to do a story. London, England, sent a BBC person here to do a story on the race ride. Copenhagen, Denmark, Montreal, Canada, and all across the nation there's interest in this ride. On May 16th, the Chicago Tribune ran an article about the Tulsa race ride and interviewed some of the survivors who were featured in this this production, this Cavision production by Kevin Ross. It featured an article in the Chicago Tribune newspaper. As a result of that, people have come forward. We've located 3 survivors in Chicago that we didn't know about as a result of all this media. Website, the Oklahoma Historical Society, and the Tulsa Race Ride Commission has a website. We located 3 survivors in Chicago that we didn't know about. 83-year-old twin sisters,
Who were they?
Janetta and Arnetta McNeil, that's their maiden names, and Teresa McNeil Gilliam. She's 87 and the twins are 83. And so that was just wonderful, locating them and locating some of the survivors of Stratford. And as a result of that article in the Tribune, a talk show, WVON Chicago, a cable network series, 3 days later had an hour-and-a-half long talk show about the Tulsa race ride. Hannibal Johnson and I were invited guests, and we took calls from people who had heard about the ride or wanted to know more about it, took calls from people who used to live in Tulsa, and it was a wonderful program. So this information on the ride is getting out, and we thank people like you for sharing with us, because we
Did
learned.
you ever talk with Ernestine Gibbs?
Oh yes, we've got Mrs. Gibbs. We've
Julius
met.
Williams?
Where is Julius? I can't get in touch with him. Do you know where he lives? He's on my list to contact. I'll get it from
I tell
Reverend
you how you
McCutcheon.
can find Reverend McCutcheon.
That's
He's
what
a
I'll
good
do.
member over there.
I'll